This is a review and walkthrough of Best Western Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, room 235 on the second floor. Starting things off to the right of the door, we've got our light switches. These will take care of our overhead lights, and see they have a little night light, and then our light in the room there. We'll get to that. To the right of the door, or to the left, depending on how you're looking at it, is your closet space. There is, right down here, a little digital safe. Not bad, kind of raised. Nothing else over there. If we pull this back, move our doors here, we've got our ironing board. There's our iron, and we're just gonna come follow this wall a little bit. We have a microwave, which I appreciate. We've got our coffee maker, some coffee accoutrement. There is our ice bucket back there. Down here, we actually have a little mini fridge, which is great. And then here we've just got like drawers that you can put stuff in. And we'll come back up this way so you can see there's nothing in there, but it gives you a place to put stuff. Over this way, we've got a full-length mirror, which is great. Come to our bathroom. Over here to the right, we've got our first garbage can that I can find. We've got our sink area, nice space to work with. We have our two light switches here. One turns on the bathroom light behind me, and that turns on the lights right here. You can see, pretty big mirror. It's not too bad. Lighting could be a little better, but not bad. You got little sconce things, nice mirror. This, however, right here, when we look at our hardware, this is the bane of my existence. It's kind of short, and I feel I'm gonna wrap my knuckles on that. Coming over to our side with a GFI plug, there you can see your toiletries, some cups, backing things out right here. We've got our towel rack with extra towels, and we actually have some hanging space there, as well as down here, there's a little hanging space, which is nice. Over there, we've got our extra teepee and dryer. Backing things up again, we've got a little Gettysburg artwork for where we are. Coming down to our toilet, it is an elongated bowl, not a soft close lid, but that's okay. Coming around inside here, here's the back of our door. And I can tell right now that's actually a really solid door. That's pretty good. All right, here is our tub area. We have our bowed shower curtain, not bad. Coming over, look at our hardware here. This is a tub, not a shower. There we go. There is our hardware. Come up here, take a look. We'll let you know what the water pressure and temperature is like after we've stayed here for about a week. Test my tile. This doesn't feel like a rebath, but it looks like it could be. So it might be an elevated rebath because that's not real tile, that's plastic. We're gonna come out here, go to our main living area, and I'm not saying that the plastic tiles are bad, it's just I wanna make a distinction for you, in case you're looking. This particular room is a double queen, so here we could see our first queen and then our second queen. And we're gonna pop back over here. There's a little luggage area. Throw your shoes on. We're just using it for our luggage. Here we've got our dresser where we can put our stuff. There's a decently sized TV. I wanna say it's 40, 55 inches. It's big enough, You're not here to watch TV, but if you are, it's a decent size. There's our other garbage can. Notice that there is carpet throughout this room. Here is our workstation, which I've already thrown all of my work-related stuff. Camera bag, computer bag, camera gear. We do have a light here with two electrical outlets, our telephone. There is an Ethernet jack back there. More art for the area, and then kind of like a to-do thing. Swinging back this way, this room does have a AC heat unit right here. This is the view that you'll get from this particular room, which is going to be interesting. We do have the Lincoln Train Museum right there. So we're gonna have like through traffic here, but we're on the corner. We're on the second floor. We've got a nice view of the battlefield just right from the hotel room, which is kind of cool. So, you can sit out here at night and watch things as they go by. There actually is a little seating area here. There's our chair. Kick your feet up, let you know how that is. I'll make sure to actually sit in this since I'm bad about doing that. The room itself does have some wallpaper accent areas, which I could do without, but here we go. This is the secondary window that we have. and more views of the battlefield and buses and things. So kind of nice. There's an extra light right here that you saw, kind of artistic Art Deco. Here is our second queen. We were going to do a king, but when we booked, this is all they had was a double queen. So hey, two queens. Technically, you get slightly bigger rooms if you get double queen. Don't mind not having like a couch to sit in. Here we go. This is the in between the two. Here is our clock, storage, reading material, light switches. Not bad. The lighting could be a little brighter, but it's not terrible. More electrical outlets there and there. No sign of actual USB-C ports or USB-A built into the wall, but that's okay. That's a minor thing, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Coming over this way, more Gettysburg art, but one of the banes of my existence is this thermostat, and because it's a motion sensing thermostat. So if we happen to stay in that bed, I wonder if the air conditioner slash heater will still work because we're far enough away. But I will let you know after we've stayed here for a couple of days what our experiences were like in this hotel, because I've been to Gettysburg lots of times, and this is actually the first time that I'm staying in this Best Western. So let me get back to you in a couple days. All right, this is wrap up of Best Western Gettysburg on Steinwehr. So I'll give you kind of the pros and cons of this particular room. First being, it's actually at the front of the hotel. So you actually get a view of the sunrise over the battlefield, which is kind of nice. And you're going to see that sunrise because just above us is the dining area. And while it's really good for overnight, meaning you don't have people moving around and it's kind of quiet, 6 a.m. and a little before 6 a.m., you're going to have people that you're going to hear moving chairs, banging around. You are not going to be able to sleep through that. So that's a minus. However, underneath you is the pool. So you have nobody underneath you. This is the double-edged sword of this room. Great view. The street, actually not that noisy compared to Baltimore Street, but like clockwork, 6 a.m. We came off season. It's the second week of October right now, and every day. We were here on a Monday, and we're leaving on a Friday. Every day, like clockwork, 6 a.m. So if you're a late sleeper, this might not be the best room for you. Just throwing that out there. Information. We're going to pull things back, come back to our front door. Safe, nice to have, didn't really use it. Like I said, you're at the hall. The doors are, light bleed, a little thin. You can hear your next door neighbor over there and there. You don't hear the elevator. You're far enough away from that, but you do hear the staircase going up and down. It's 2 doors down, but they're heavy fire doors, so you'll hear that. Coming over this way, we've got our microwave. Nice to have. Didn't notice this before, but there's actually an electrical outlet and 2 USB-A ports. You can see I did put a towel over there because that blue light is kind of bright, so I need a completely dark room, so I covered that up. Got your mini fridge, awesome to have. I did forget to mention that there's actually tileage at the front of the room, and then the carpet's in the livable section. Coming over to the bathroom, I was actually wrong about this. It is high enough that you don't really wrap your knuckles around it, so good on that. I was wrong. I maintain that I still wish these were a little brighter. There is no actual exhaust in this bathroom, so if you do take really steamy showers, you're really gonna steam this up. If we come over to our shower, speaking of our shower, this is interesting in that it pulls out and left and right, controls your temperature. Haven't really seen that in a hotel shower. Down here you have a stopper up and down to have the faucet here versus up here. Speaking of up here, this shower pressure is okay. It's really like a low flow, so it's not gonna be super great. Temperature wise though, nice. It is hot enough. One last thing while we're in here, we're gonna come down here and talk about this stopper. It flips around. That's how you fill the bathtub up. But if you're not careful, you might kick that and notice the tub start filling up. So just make sure. Up and down. Bathroom door, solid, liked it. Coming into the bedroom area, we have TV swivel, not too bad, didn't use that, so good enough. We have our workstation, which didn't really use, just kind of ended up being a dumping ground for all my filming equipment and computer and so forth, but it's nice that it's there. Lighting is sparse, but for the most part, you kind of get a nice view out here and lots of light. So that's one thing I like about this. It's a corner end room, so you get sun from here and from here, and then, you're walking distance to Lincoln Links mini golf, which was kind of nice. We did that, and some other food areas if you're not looking for like food in town, more local based food as opposed to tourist based food in the center of town. Flipping things around, little seating area was not too bad. The ottoman ended up being used as a secondary nightstand because whoever's over here doesn't really have anything. Bed itself, I was right, it was a little more on the firmer side than my wife and I actually like. Pillows, you'll notice that we had a second bed over there. Most of the pillows migrated over here because these are just really soft and flimsy. We needed like 4 and 3 just to like make ourselves comfortable. The headboard also was a little weird. You could feel it move a little bit if you shifted around too much in the bed. Coming over to our nightstand area, clock radio, not too bad, didn't really use it. The lights, these are interesting. I didn't notice this when we first came in, but these are actually freestanding. So they can move around and you can knock them if you're attempting to find the light switch, which is up here to turn them on and off. So in the bed, when you're lying down, that's a little bit of a reach up there to get. So I kind of wish it was a little lower, but that's not too bad. I was right. This was a motion sensing thermostat and not terribly great because we piled stuff on this bed, which prevented the motion sensor from seeing us over in that bed. So it turned off fairly regularly. It was a little more aggressive in turning off as well in the daytime when we weren't here, even though we raised the temperature to not use too much. But overall, as we come back this way, the room itself is not terrible if you're not a light sleeper or you got a white noise machine or you're the type of person that's up at 6 a.m. already getting breakfast. This could work for you. And I am happy that we gave it a shot because, like I've said at the start, we've tried most of the hotels kind of on Baltimore Street. We've done the Comfort Inn, we've done the 1863 house, and a couple other ones. I'll throw cards at the end of the video so you can check those out. So I was interested to see what things were going to be like over here. And for the most part, it wasn't bad. The hotel itself, really good. Just getting past the 6 a.m. wake up call every day might be a bit much for some. But if that's not a deterrent for you, then room 235 at the Best Western in Gettysburg could be exactly what you're looking for. I've been Wanderer 001. Happy wandering.